What's going on, people? It's your boy Calwu, and welcome to another episode of planetwu. And this episode right here, I'm gonna review an anime that came out last year called Hypnosis Mic. For those that don't know, shameless plug, your boy Calwu does music. The alias, the nickname, it all came from one of my boys, one of my long childhood friends. We've known each other since we were 6, so that means we've had a friendship for about 30 years now, just about 30 years. This man is he's a great dude. I'm finally getting a chance to introduce him into anime, and we've been having a ball these last few weeks, just watching stuff together. My boy EJ, today is his birthday, so happy birthday, bro. Yeah, let's get some happy birthdays in the comment section for my man's EJ. The name came from when we were like 12, 13 years old at a school that I went to, middle school I went to, Malcolm X Academy. There was a guy there named Calvin Wooten that was pretty much a legend in middle school for his basketball skills. And this particular day, on how I got the nickname, we was having a 2-on-2 tournament in my neighborhood, over on 6 Mile in Stopel, which is my old hood. And me and EJ was on teams. You know, everybody had their various teams. And this particular day, I was literally hitting everything. I didn't miss nothing. I mean, I was just shooting like random shots that shouldn't have went in. I'm not even gonna lie, just random ass shots that shouldn't have went in, but they were going in because I was pissed off, and I was just willing them boys to the basket. And he was like, "My nigga Cal, woo!" And then, you know what I'm saying, after a while, going to church after that, some of the other kids at church start calling me that, and then the nickname just stuck. So then when I started doing music, the name just stuck, calwu. So that's how your boy got his name. I still rock with that moniker to this day. It's been over 20 years since I've had this moniker. I still rock with it hard. Yeah. And I'm gonna put a link in the description below to my music if y'all interested in or listening to it. I do nerdcore hip hop, but I also make it to where people that ain't into the whole anime nerd theme, the message is clear and clean, and you should understand what the hell I'm talking about. It's not rocket science. The rocket science part is the formulas that I put all in there for my anime people, that if you pick it out, it's going to be like, boy, this boy a genius. But shameless plug. Now to the anime Hypnosis Mic. Hypnosis Mic is an anime. Okay, so let me start with the premise. The premise of his Hypnosis Mic is it's a world drenched in conflict and war, and the Japanese government is pretty much at this point where they're about to break. The balance is about to break. The Japanese government is going to collapse, and then enter a new political group called the Party of Words. The Party of Words pretty much usurped the Japanese government, took over, and instantly banned all weapons in Japan. Noting that the Party of Words is an all-women's organization. So it's all women from top to bottom. Even their enforcers, all women. It's an all-women organization. And they instantly came in, banned all weapons, and then started distributing to people these microphones called hypnosis microphones. Hence the anime Hypnosis Mic. These microphones had a special ability to manifest the person's words into weapons to attack the opponent's mind. And at times, it could also attack their physical. So it has the potential to do physical damage as well. The anime is about a bunch of different groups of battle rappers that pretty much battle their way to the top, or battle their way until they can become popular, and then a Party of Words hold a tournament for every person in each group to face off in this big tournament together. So the groups that the anime feature is, my favorite group first off is the busterbros. The Buster Bros features brothers, the Yamada brothers. Ichiro is the oldest. He's kind of like the superhero in their group. Like, he's the guy that's all powerful, the guy that makes all the plans, the guy that sets everybody up, and his younger brothers execute his plans because he's just smart. He got it like that. Then you got Jiro. Jiro is the middle brother. He's pretty stupid, but he's a brute. He's kind of like the group's enforcer. And then you got the younger brother, Saburo, who is the tech genius. This guy's a hacker. He's a gamer. Pretty much he can do it all that got to do with stuff like that. And the one thing with the Buster Bros that made me like them the most was that they focused on flow. And in my career of doing music, like a lot of people who are into lyricists, I used to just write and just try to say the illest stuff, or write and try to say the most controversial stuff, just to I was just writing. And I never really focused on flow early on. Not saying that I rhymed off beat, because I never rhymed off beat. It just, the flow didn't matter to me. The words that I wanted to say was more important. And then as I grew into music and started, brushing shoulders with certain artists and people, certain artists telling me, like, sometimes you got to keep it stupid simple. And I'm like, okay, so if my lyrics come out a little more simpler, then what can I use to draw people in? So then I start focusing on cadences and flow most definitely. So I start trying to find an instrument that I like riding. So I would ride a specific instrument, or if it's a melody in there that I really like, I'll ride that specific melody, or I'll ride the beat one way, and then when the melody changes or the beat has a shift to it, I'll ride those changes. So that's why the Buster Bros just did it for me. They flow from start to finish I'm not gonna say the finish. From start all the way up until the end, they had the best flow in the whole anime. The next group was the madtriggercrew. And like, when you hear about the members, the name is spot on. The leader of the group is Samatoki. He's a leader of a Yakuza. Juto, who is considered a corrupt cop because he hangs out with the Yakuza. And Ryo, an ex-Navy vet, who was a demolitionist. So the anime, got people from different backgrounds, all walks of life. That group's dynamic is really dope. I really enjoy watching that group operate. Especially when they start showing Juto's life as a police officer, and you kind of see cops looking at him sideways, like, yeah, why is he hanging out with them? And I don't like that, and that ain't cool. So, and it's really dope, how they kind of go into characters' backstories. Then the next group is the flingposse. Flingposse is full of pretty boys, as you can tell. Ramuda, which is a fashion designer. He's a famous fashion designer in the anime, and he's a battle rapper. Then you got Gentaro, who's a novelist. Who would think a novelist would be a battle rapper? And then you got Dice, who's a gambler, who's also a battle rapper, and he's the worst type of gambler in the world. I mean, his gambling is so bad. They had, in this one particular episode, they had to go rescue him from a loan shark because he went into this underground gambling den. So they showed up, and the three of them pretty much had to battle rap the whole den to get him out of his situation, because they was about to beat his face in. That junk was crazy. Then the next group. This group is probably the strangest group to me. It's a group called matenrou, and matenrou, to enunciate it properly. Matenrou. There is Dr. Jakurai, Hifumi, who is a gigolo, or he's actually a host. But we all know hosts are gigolos. So yeah, so he's a gigolo. And then Dopo, who's an office worker, that's depressed. And they don't go into depth about how this particular group formed, but this group probably has the most unique dynamic. And I try to think about like how in the world did these three become a rap group? And it's only one way that I can surmise it. And I'm pretty sure they talked about it in the manga. I haven't read the manga for it, but I'm pretty sure they talked about it in the manga. But the only thing I can surmise coming off the top of my head on how this group even became to be is that Doppo and Hifumi are are like middle school friends or high school friends. So they're friends of some sort. That friendship, went on into their adulthood. So that friendship isn't, or that pairing, I should say, isn't the strange thing that I'm thinking about. I'm just wondering how the hell a doctor just recruit these two to do battle rap, and how did them three even become a trio? And what I thought, this might be a little childish, but the thought in my mind, especially after watching the third episode of Cells at Work Cold Black, is that Hifumi probably had an STD, and he went to the doctor, and Dr. Jakurai was the one who treated it, and that's how they became cool. And then the three of them just became a group together. That's the only thing that makes logical sense to me. Nothing else makes sense. And maybe they did explain in the anime. It might have been a point I forgot, or because I haven't watched it in a while, it might be something I you know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot it, or I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but that's the only thing, like, in my mind right now that I can surmise that makes sense to me. And then another cool thing that they did in the anime is the groups eventually had, like, some of the members in each of the groups know each other. Actually, a member in each of the groups know each other. So you got, so there was a group called Dirty Dog, which the group featured Busterbros Ichiro, Mad Trigger Samatoki, Flingposse's Remuda, and Matenrou, Dr. Jakurai. So each of the leaders of each of the groups was a group together called Dirty Dog. Dirty Dog broke up because Ichiro and Samatoki just was butting heads. They couldn't see eye to eye, and Samatoki wouldn't tell Ichiro why that he wanted to lose the battle. He pretty much was throwing in and losing the battle on purpose, and Ichiro like, fuck that. We gotta win. We the best crew around. We ain't supposed to lose. Not knowing that Samatoki was gonna lose his sister if they won. And so them two bump heads in a group eventually broke up. And as a result, Remuda and Dr. Jakurai end up making a group together called the Kujaku Posse. And they were a group for a while, but until they went their own separate ways. Every group has a pretty good dynamic of like how they operate, the type of flows that they use, their beat selection, how each member relies on each other in a sense, or each member's strengths and each member's weakness. And the anime shows that. And the anime is just really dope. And even to the point where they even had people that had illegal mics that were modified to do other stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, like give people brain aneurysms and junk. Like it was wild, man. Like the anime as a whole is wild. The way they introduced each group, like when they introduced the Busterbros, local gang, because the Busterbros pretty much live in Ikebukuro Westgate Park, and Jiro and Saburo were kidnapped by a local gang and was like, yeah, we doing this because when your brother show up, the whole gang gonna beat your brother ass, you know what I'm saying, in a battle, because he can't possibly battle 100 people at the same time. And then Ichiro showed up and battled 100 people at the same time and started bodying niggas. Like, Ichiro is the truth. Like, definitely heavy with the rhymes, heavy with the flow. Straight killed him. The first time they introduced the madtriggercrew was a drug bust for Juto, where a gang, it was a gang was selling drugs or whatever, and pretty much the madtriggercrew boxed them in and battled them and beat them. Flingposse. I don't remember what their intro battle was, but the most interesting battle for them to me was when they was battling at they was at a haunted nightclub that was losing business, and they was making music to battle the ghosts. That junk was actually pretty dope. And with matenrou, their introduction battle was they battle rapped people who was holding the hospital hostage on some John Q shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Denzel movie John Q, they was holding the hospital hostage, and the doc and Hifumi and Dopo pretty much went up there and battled the dude and utterly destroyed him. Yeah, so the anime is dope. Like, for anybody that's into battle rapping, I say watch this anime. For anybody that's into just music period, and enjoy music, I say watch this anime. The anime is cold. Now, what I will say is I didn't think that a battle rap anime would be that great. Hell, I didn't even think that the Japanese would battle rap. And that's wrong on my part, for the simple fact that battle rapping is, like, at its basic form, like a part of hip hop history. Like, when hip hop started, it was all about gloating about what you got, what the other person don't got. That in its own right is a way of battle rapping. Saying that I got a big TV on my wall, I got all these fancy cars, you a jive sucker, your rhymes is weak, your flow is trash. Like, that is the basics of being an MC, which is like in the root of hip hop. And I just appreciate that in this anime. Not saying that the lyrics are all that great, because the lyrics ain't that great in the battles. They kind of like blah. Like, it ain't like our American battles, like what you see on Smack TV and things of that nature. But it is great flow. Like I said, the flow is great. The music is dope. And it's just appreciating the Japanese version of what battle rapping is and what it's like in an anime format. It's real interesting. I say definitely check it out. It's dope. And yeah, and pretty much for the rest of this week, I'm gonna be doing all anime based on music from last year. I'm gonna do some of this year's ones later on. I'll be reviewing Idly Pride once it finishes. But it's dope. So once again, I appreciate y'all. If y'all haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to this video. The goal is to get to 100 subscribers by next month, by this time next month, so a whole 30 days. I don't think that's a lofty goal. I think it's doable, but it only can be done with y'all help, and I appreciate it. Before y'all even start, I appreciate y'all, and that's it. Once again, this is Calwu. I appreciate y'all, and I'm signing off. Peace.
I know the streets, I see the nature of the beast, see the hunger. I ain't scared cause my mom ain't raised no feast. In a booth, on the rise, I am Baker with the yeast, dropping more bombs than Funkmaster Flex, doing war in the Middle East.